BC Cup final, women under 18. The next game, men's under 18 BC1 versus Ontario 1, will commence in just a moment. Give it up for your BC1 under 18 men's team.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is your moneymaker of the event here, National Championship Festival here at University of British Columbia, beautiful Vancouver, BC. This is the big boys of the tournament, U18 men's, Ontario 1 against BC 1. It's gonna be a great game here. This is the rematch of last year's semifinals. BC defeated Ontario and then went on to defeat Alberta last year in Sherbrooke, Quebec. Should be a great game here. Take you through the run sheet. BC roster: Louis Retief, Thomas Cleary, Luke Bradley, Jonas Bloomberg, Drew Cole, Callie Mertzer, Choi, having a bit of difficulty with the names from the BC roster. Let's go through Ontario. Brendan Blakey, Joel Breton, Matt Tierney, Trenton Cooper, Mac Key, John Shaw, Robert Wingrove, Lucas Rumball, Zach Shirt-Leff, Jeff Doros, Tyler Hergut, Derek Van Dutemple, and Mitch Santilli, Owen Brumble, and Andrew Coe. So going from right to left on your screen in the red jersey and white shorts will be Ontario, and gold and blue left to right on your screen will be BC1. So this should be a great game here.
Ontario 1, starting with BC number 1, Louis Retief. Number 2, Thomas Shaney. Number 3, Luke Bradley. Number 4, Jonas Blomberg. Number 5, Drew Cole. Number 6, Callie Mertizes. Number 7, Thomas Choi. Number 8, Sasson Kajali. Number 9, Spencer Miller. Number 10, Giuseppe Dutois. Number 11, Peter Stockton. Number 12, Chris Milks. Number 13, Harjan Gill. Number 14, Kirsten Leitner. Number 15, Theo Sander. Number 16, 17. Sunda Ratslip.
So yeah, this is gonna be a cracker of a game. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you jump there.
Oh, no problem. I'm just letting the fans hear the roster announcement for this BC side. As that ball looks to have been won
16,
by
Juno
Ontario,
Ratslip.
just outside the 22.
Number 18, Jenner Teufel. Number 19, Jack Rayner. Number 20, Nathan
Rose LeBrecht,
Sasha.
the referee out there.
Number 21, Nick Hildebrand.
Mike Jones working with her.
Number 22, Morgan Tate. Number 24, Tamasi Bataiki.
Both these
Number
teams
25,
having fans in the crowd here, with all the other Ontario and BC teams watching on. So we have a penalty awarded to BC, and you got to think that's an easy one for Giuseppe Dutois. And it's a straight shot about 25 meters out. Giuseppe Dutois has been a standout player along with other guys in this U18 division.
Number 9,
BC really wants to win this one, as Ontario's won a couple of medals in a row now, and they need to get onto the top of the podium here for BC pride.
Number 14, Owen Bromble. Number 15, Andrew Coe.
So this will be straight on, well within Dutois' range. You can see he hits it a ton. Look at the height on that one.
And it is good. So the first blood goes to BC as they take a 3-0 lead here over Ontario. Just 3 minutes gone in the first half.
Penalty is good.
Things definitely perking up, Brian. The sky's getting a little lighter, and we may yet have some sunshine this afternoon.
Still a slight bit of drizzle I can see off in the distance. So a little bit of rain, but nothing like we had before. So restart coming from Andrew Coe.
Number 17, Aiden O'Brien.
Taken well by the
Number
BC
18,
player on the
Riley
far
Bruce.
side.
Number 19, Emile Borgro. Number 20, Riley DiNardo. Number 21, Jordan Hofstra. Number 22, Simon
Ontario
Laughlin.
might have
Number 23,
stolen this ball, and yes, it looks like they
Austin
have.
Leone. Number 24, Mike
Rumbling up
Hebert.
the field.
And number 25, Jeff
Ontario
Wood.
in good position now.
So another DiNardo on the field, the brother of scrum half from our previous game. So the DiNardo clan enjoying a couple of cup round games here today.
Good tackle by Louis Retief. Taken hard into contact by the Ontario player. Can't quite get a number on him. The skill level of these players is incredibly strong. And the ball is won by BC. So they'll play it. And a box kick blocked by Ontario.
Everyone on side there in that instance for BC.
I don't know why the BC 11, Peter Stockton dove to keep that ball in, but it was blocked by Ontario. Ontario with the hands now popped out wide. So that's Stockton diving to keep that ball in, but I think if it went out, it would have been there.
Yeah, it would have been a better result
so
for them. Instead, they're scrambling here, but they'll bring it back. And was that for the knock-on, maybe it was originally called? Or we haven't, yeah. Forward pass.
Argent Gill, the captain of this BC side, playing from the outside center position, has been a standout the last few years in the BC Elite Youth Sevens. Ontario put it, and that ball just pops right out of the back as we see the wet conditions doing their first bit of damage here in this game. Taken hard up into contact now.
Oh, some pretty fierce stuff in close.
It was a good tackle by Martinez.
Martinez, that is.
No,
Callie Martinez?
No.
Yeah, it's been Martinez all the week long.
Okay.
So scrum time here, and it's going to be BC with a put in. The intention will probably be, well, it doesn't look like Dutois set up for a kick. Or going to reset that. Across, bringing you coverage with Brian Kelly here as we're in our penultimate game of the National Championship Festival. Game adjacent to us in the under-18 men's third-fourth game, Ontario 2 versus Alberta. It is Ontario 2 leading Alberta 5-3. Spin pass to Dutois. Now back behind the line, the Ontario defense pressuring well. Loose ball picked up by Ontario. So Ontario setting up well, about 10 meters out from the BC line after stealing that ball from the BC back line. Loose ball now. BC's got that. Oh, but dropped. So they'll bring that back. We're going to have a medal presentation right in front of our position from one of the other games. And that is, or is this from the previous game? No, this looks like the U16 men.
Ontario.
In the plate round. So that might be plate winners Ontario about to get their medals. Get a shot of that there. We'll go back to the game in just a moment, just showing some of these young athletes from Ontario.
So we believe this is the plate round. So taking you back in action, the U18 men's division. Ontario still holding on to possession just inside the 22. Down 3-0 after that early penalty by Giuseppe Dutois. And now we have a penalty awarded to Ontario. I'm not sure what it is, but
the post's rattling pretty good there. It's one of the BC players, I don't know, hit it somehow, but.
So you have to think this will be an easy kick to tie things up. These two teams very equal in on paper and in the game here. This one's going to be come right down to the wire, I think.
So I think, you know, we've seen a couple of Ontario BC games that have been real crackers and very tight, not necessarily today, but in the other rounds, and I think this one will not disappoint. Flags
And
up.
Flags are up, and we have a tie game here, 3-all. BC with the first penalty, and Ontario coming right back and tying it up.
And if you just focus your attention right in front of the stands here, we're having a quick trophy presentation. Please put your hands together for Ontario, the U16 men's plate champions.
As the restart comes back into play now, Ontario securing the ball.
General Manager of Rugby Canada.
Ontario popping it back inside. Good run up the field. BC trying to poach the ball. Taking it hard up this near side. Good wrap-up tackle by the number 11 for BC. That's Peter Stockton. Now going back to the earlier penalty awarded to Ontario.
Nardo will defer to his fullback to kick this down the park. Andrew Coe. It's a high touch finder. Gets them still inside their own half, but slightly improved position. More importantly to them, though, is the platform from which they'll work, as they've got a pretty steady line out going right now.
Ball won by Ontario. Long spin pass to the fly half. Decides to just go himself,
Oh,
and he has
that's
a man
nice.
with him. Good pop to his player in support. Now there's another guy on the outside, and a good hand fend by the fullback, and he looks to score. The first try of the game will go to Andrew Coe. What a great hand fend by the Ontario fullback. And that all started from Michael Duros from the fly half position. Just decided to go himself, and then linked up with Mitch Santilli, and he linked up with the fullback for the first score. So what a great 60-70 meter try there by Ontario.
Shows just how dangerous the Ontario backline can be. A little half gap back inside his own half, and then Coe just stepped on the gas and they couldn't catch up with him. So British Columbia having a real meeting of the minds in goal to say, hey, how are we going to stop this from happening again?
Taking the shot at goal will be the try scorer, Andrew Coe. We've got a great angle to see this ball, and it just curves in.
Wow.
Yes, it does.
It's like a Tiger Woods fade there onto the green.
What a great shot there by this young fullback from Ontario.
Score is now British Columbia 3, Ontario 11.
10. The announcer said 10 and
Correction.
11, sorry. There we go.
Restart coming from BC deep.
DiNardo flips it off.
Ontario territory. BC.
Look at how fast up the Ontario forwards are in support, but now the counter ruck from BC working well.
A lot of offensive weapons on this BC side we haven't yet seen, as that ball is knocked on. No, referee says play on.
Accidental offside there too, running into his own man.
Good run by Kirsten Leitner. Now, Dutois. He's got nowhere to go, so he just secures the ball. Now Miller pops it to Retief. Inside the 22 now. Miller. Blomberg. That ball looks to have been stolen by Ontario. Yes, it has. Big boot coming from Coe, and he will gain lots of ground, but ball is kept in by BC.
I don't think he saw the winger chasing down. He almost got caught there, but now British Columbia kicking that in behind the 22. Coe will let it go across the line.
As that ball is placed down, so a bit too hard of a kick. So we are nearing the halfway mark of this first half. Ontario leading BC 10-3 here in the National Championship Finals for the under-18 men.
I'll tell you one thing. Charged down, picked up by Ontario after they kicked off. Went off a BC hand, but they're making lemonade out of lemons here.
And that ball is knocked on. So advantage to BC. So they'll have a good position here, about 28 or so meters out. Down 10-3.
I was going to say, after 5 days of standing on this concrete dais here at the Gerald McGavin Rugby Pavilion. Understand why airport workers stand on padded mats all day long. I think you need to have the, you know, just that little layer of comfort between you and the floor.
One of the BC players receiving a bit of attention. Speaking of, just want to say thank you to the University of British Columbia. They've been great hosts for us here for the National Festival Championship. Great annual event with 1,000 rugby players from across the country competing for U14, U16, and U18 national titles. And a great display of Canadian rugby, and a lot of our national team players came from this very tournament, and we could very well be seeing the next generation of Rugby World Cup and Olympic athletes.
Well, we do see that every year when especially the U20 teams get the graduates of these championships, and names come across and go, oh, I remember that guy in the championships a couple of years ago, and then they're on playing against other teams around the world.
Pretty incredible to think that there's some young players, Lucas Hammond, Justin Douglas, Sarah Caljuvi, competing for Canada at the national 7s and 15s at the ages of 18, 19, 20 years old. Pretty incredible. Ontario with the ball now, looking to make another break. Advantage now, BC, and they've got a bit of room to move. One of the forwards taking it hard
big
in.
fend off.
He's a big boy, but we have advantage to BC. Dutois with the chip over the top, putting Andrew Coe under pressure. That looks like it's a good battle that we will see all throughout today, is the Dutois against Andrew Coe. Very dominant backs for the respective sides.
Yeah, Dutois is a very confident kicker. You see he's got that light touch of a good kicker where he's trying to get it down the wing and things like that, but he's got a real foe in Andrew Coe, who knows exactly where Dutois is going to think about kicking it. So until Dutois can throw his thinking off a little bit, Coe will be there to snap up those balls.
So they've elected to go for points here. It's close to 40 meters as you can imagine, and just to the left of the post. So not an easy kick, but definitely makeable.
I would venture that Dutois at training can probably hit them from 50 on a regular basis. He's got that much leg. And like Kieran Hearn for the national team, sometimes you have your long specialist, and then you have the shorter, more precise guys.
Well struck ball there by Giuseppe Dutois, and they
retake nothing. They're still 4 points adrift, 10-6.
Brain fart there on my behalf. 10-6 is the score line now.
Just say that, okay. I'll switch spots with you there for a minute, Brian, while I take a look at the interweb.
Good take by BC on the far sidelines. Are playing close to the line. And we have another knock on. It's conditions wreaking havoc on these two teams. Sun's starting to poke out, which is nice. Referee stopping the play, bringing it back again one more time. Ontario spinning it out. And that ball is dropped by the number 12. Opportunity for BC. Good run by their number 12. That's Chris Miles. Now Dutois, chip up over the top for Coe as he calls Mark. Just dancing on that 22 line. Great boot into touch now, so we will have a line out with BC ball just inside the halfway line. Line out called back by the referee. Ball being thrown in by Martinez. Well thrown, but a bit bobbled. Nevertheless, BC losing it. Good passing through the hands by Ontario. Taking it up now. Andrew Coe, he gets wrapped up by one of the BC players. Not sure who's won this, but now spinning it out is Shirtleff. Bit of miscommunication there from the number 10. And getting through the break is one of the Ontario players offloading it. Now they're well inside BC territory. Running it up there is the scrum half. Little pick and go from the forwards, playing a close, concise game. Now going back blind. Popping it to the forwards, and that ball was dropped by John Shaw. And the referee blowing back for an earlier play and blows down. Speaking with her sideline official. About 7 minutes remaining in this first half of the U18 Men's National Final. Ontario with a 10-6 lead over BC. BC getting some encouragement from their home fans. So a yellow card being handed out to Blumberg of BC. So this could be a big part of the game here with not much time left in the first half. So some defense now really important for BC as Coe decides to hit touch and go for a line out. Big goal line stand needed from BC. Down one player after the yellow card. And Ontario setting the maul. Trying to get the push going. Getting close now. As they got to be close. Held up just on the line. And the ball is held up, so we'll have a scrum down. Ontario ball. Good defense by BC. Another scrum reset coming here. Score still stands 10-6. Ontario leading BC. Ontario, the ball out now. Scrum half to the fly half. Driving it up. Good run there bringing it right back up to the 6 or 7 meter mark. Ontario looking to grind this ball over the line, gaining valuable yards. Pop back inside. Going back blind now. They have the numbers, diving over the line, and we have a try by Ontario. So they further their lead. That was a great run by one of the players just trying to get a number on him. So Ontario now leading 15. That try was scored
Ontario try scored
by
by
Robert Wingrove. And they're furthering their lead here with the man advantage still for another 7 or 8 minutes from the yellow card.
So just back in the control room, talking about our next game, which is the U18 men's game between Alberta and BC2. And with 50-0 victory by BC in the other cup round game held at 11 o'clock, BC has won the gold medal. They've done the math, and so this will be a silver medal match coming up at 1:30 between BC2 and Alberta.
Conversion attempt coming from Andrew Coe.
Oh, he's got a speedster coming on top
Wow.
of him there.
What a great job there by the number 9 for BC. That was Spencer Miller just putting all sorts of pressure on Andrew Coe. I don't think he had any idea.
I hope there's no sprint
nowhere.
coaches keeping an eye on this game. They might come in and recruit him for some straight track star stuff. That was did he leave early? I mean,
no, not at all.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, Cole looked up and went, "Oh, I got to get this away now." So 15-6, and even though he didn't get a hand on the ball, he did rattle Cole. So he achieved what he set out to do.
Ontario breaking some tackles here right off the restart, taking it up.
That was the presence of mind to
very
turn around.
good run there by Owen Bromble. Haven't really seen any offense from BC in this first half.
It's
got some of their big guns, Dutoit, Gill, and Theo Souter haven't really got their hands on the ball and shown their pace yet.
No, I mean, this is really BC's last chance to claim a medal here. Now, they did win the cup round, so congratulations to them at the under-16 level. But they may get swept in this senior category.
Now, Dutoit back inside to Gill. Gill gets taken down. Advantage now to BC. Ontario players look to have dived on the ball. So you have to wonder if they'll take the points.
I think they be wise to take that chance for sure, because that puts them to 15-9. And then
they're also playing with one player down, so kicking it one of their big men, one of their number 4, I believe.
Yeah.
So that would make it a little bit more difficult with the line out. So trying to go for 3 points here, lining it up is Dutoit. If he makes it, it will go to 15-9.
And a converted try would get them in the lead. So yeah, they're very much eyeing the comeback, and this is an important start to that.
High kick coming from Dutoit, and it is straight as an arrow right through the sticks. And we have a 15-9 scoreline, so there's still a little bit of time left on the clock, nearing the end of this first half. Reminder that BC is down 1 player as Blomberg is sitting in the bin for another 4 or 5 minutes. Couple hundred fans here in the crowd watching this game, cheering for both different teams.
Oh, is that going to go 10? Oh, no, it's not. Just 1 meter shy there. take it back to center.
Just a little mental error there by one of the Ontario backs, Andrew Coe, I believe. BC splitting their backs. Going right to the fullback, chipping it over the top.
That's a nice touch.
Picked up by Coe. He's got lots of pressure on him. That boot was coming from Sauter. Good pop just off the shoulder of the number 10. Ontario now trying to break the gain line. Ball won by BC now. Scrum half looking to go for a box kick, deciding to pass it out. Good pop through the hands. They have the numbers. Now with a good run. Got one guy on the outside, and he stops, comes back. That's Peter Stockton, just dancing close to this near touchline, taking hard in now.
Boy, this could break
Cleary.
Ontario.
And reminder, BC is playing one man short.
Might have been a boot to the head there at the breakdown.
Arjun Gill spinning it out. They've got some speed on the outside. Bringing it back in is the winger. And will he dive over the line? And the try is awarded. It looks to have been Kirsten Leitner on the far side, if I'm correct, on that far side, breaking the tackle and just diving kind of sideways backwards, landing and scoring that try. So BC putting on some late pressure with the try, and we got to think this is halftime.
Try scored by BC, number 14, Kirsten Leitner.
So the conversion coming from Giuseppe Dutoit. So that late try was Karsten Leitner. Pardon me.
We don't have a girl playing on the field, Kirsten Leitner.
So BC, they score 10 late points there. And they now take a 16-15 lead into halftime here of the U18 men's national title game here. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a couple minutes with the second half.
Coming up and concluding this year, we'll be in Moscow, Russia for the World Cup. We have a really close-knit group of girls, and we're very competitive with each other, which drives us and pushes us to become better, and that'll help us out when we're in Moscow, being able to feel like we're home and keep each other together and pushing each other.
Every time our players step onto the field, we want to ensure that they're at their peak abilities and able to perform at their very best to represent Canada in the way they want to and the way we want to.
So what we're trying to build here at the Centre of Excellence is actually a culture of excellence, whereby our players reach their potential by training and living in a high performance environment.
ready to get back into action here at U18 final for the national championships. Ontario allowing 10 late first half points from BC. They've now won 60-50. High restart coming from Andrew Coe.
So Rugby Canada has a very comprehensive
BC,
high
but it's
performance
knocked
plan
on
that
advantage going to
involves
Ontario.
us looking after our athletes so that they be the best that they can be.
So
We
it
look
looks
after
like,
them in the way
BC
of
is back
technical
to
and tactical
15
support
players.
through
The
world-class
sin bin,
coaching, as well as strength
bin
and
players now
conditioning,
back on the
sports
field.
psychology,
So this is going to
nutrition,
be a great
medical
second
support,
half.
and off-field
BC
support to help
narrow
them in their
1-point
careers after
lead,
rugby.
16-50
Yeah, the City of
over
Langford
Ontario.
has partnered with Rugby Canada to provide facilities here
BC
for
players cheering
Canada's
as
rugby
they,
team at
steal
City
possession.
Centre Park in Langford. Excited about having them here in Langford.
Having the team centralized at the Centre of Excellence is of numerous benefit for the program. We were able to tap into the Canadian Sports Centre Pacific here in Langford, and having the ability to watch the players
So what a
day in,
momentum
day out,
swing
watching
BC
them,
organized
work
there.
on their weaknesses
Well,
as
down
well
a
as
man,
improve their
which
strengths.
is really big news.
Gives
So
us the ability to plan long
Ontario
term.
might be getting a little
And
nervous.
Also,
They need
tournament
to,
to tournament really
even a penalty will
target on
help
key
here.
areas,
So this is a
not
key
just the
place
athletes
where
need to
you'll
improve,
give
but the
away
team needs to
penalties
improve.
inside your own
to
half.
centralize at the Center of
It's pressure
Excellence
at the scrum,
because I want to be the best in
and
the
all of a
world,
sudden the
and
hand
we have
could
the
go up.
facilities and coaching staff to do that.
The Canadian Sport Institute has given us the opportunity to train at a world-class facility with the best coaching and sport science in the country. It's an exciting time for Rugby Sevens in Canada. With the Olympics coming up in 2016, Canada has a good shot at winning a gold medal.
So just recently we were traveling to Houston and Vegas, and coming up we get to go to two cities in China, and then we have London and Amsterdam coming up, and concluding this year we'll be in Moscow, Russia for the World Cup. We have a really close-knit group of girls, and we're very competitive with each other, which drives us and pushes us to become better, and that'll help us out when we're in Moscow, be able to feel it at home and keep each other together and pushing each other.
Every time our players step onto the field, we want to ensure that
I wonder if they've got a kicker there that
able to perform
has the kind of range that can maybe slot a top goal. Saw Carl Peacock for the Wolfpack last night.
So what we're trying to build here at
from
the
about
Centre of
45
Excellence
meters.
is actually a culture of excellence, whereby our players
I
reach
don't
their
think
potential
this isn't the
by
right position to
training
do that.
and,
And
and living in a high performance
fly half
environment.
set up too far to the left side.
Now, good opportunity. Margin close to the line. That's Robert Winkrow. And we try scored by Ontario, so first points of the second half going to the red and white. Not quite sure who got their hands on that one.
Got him spotted there with the tape on his legs, the second row. And he's just coming with blue boots there. That is big number 5.
So try scored by Mac Key.
So,
like we mentioned early on in this game, it's come right down to the end. Two very nearly equal sides, both having some big forwards and athletic backs.
important conversion, he's put it across. Oh, money man when it counts, to make it 22-16. So, still has British Columbia in a position where if they score a converted try, they'll have a 1-point lead. So, lots to play here for Vancouver, for BC in Vancouver. And some charged up restart. BC don't want to get this ball. High restart.
Under it. Bobble went off of it. John Shaw. Picked up now. Ontario just there. 2. Shaw again.
Physicality these teams are putting into every ruck and every maul. I'm surprised there's not more bodies on the floor because just not leaving anything out there.
Ontario. Got numbers outright. Kicked forward by Andrew Coe. Good play by Souter, picking it up with pace. He breaks one tackle, breaks another. Has Arjun Gill. First man there to ruck over.
That was quite a kick by Coe. I mean, he's such a precise kicker. It was like kicking through a picket fence. He just found the gap and through the cover. He tried to kick over. He wanted to put the ball on the ground and force Souter to come up and deal with it and hope that his back three would put some pressure up and choke the ball loose. As it is, they get the line out.
So Rugby Canada has a very comprehensive high performance plan. It involves us looking after our athletes so that they can do the best that they can be. We look after them in the way of technical and tactical support through world-class coaching, as well as strength and conditioning, sports psychology, nutrition, medical support and off-field support to help them in their careers after rugby.
Yeah, the City of Langford has partnered with Rugby Canada
knocked
to
forward,
provide
so an opportunity now for BC. They've got
for
man wide, taking it
team.
now.
Advantage over.
Peter Stockton around the outside. Does he have enough? Pops it back in, but the
having
judge
the team
has his
centralized
flag
at
up
the
in
Center
the
of
air.
Excellence is a
Good bit of pace there on the outside by
the program.
Stockton.
We were able to tap into the Canadian Sports Centre Pacific here in
An important line out as BC knocked it on in the line, and Ontario will have the scrum in 15.
So 5 or 10 minutes gone in this second half. Ontario leading BC 22-16. They're pinned deep in their own territory now. And that ball picked up by the number 8. I think Shirtliff, the scrum half, wanted it. Now Ontario in a bit of trouble here. And penalty awarded to BC. So if they are deciding to go quick, taken up hard by one of the forwards, just sitting right on the line, popping it out. Chance to dive over, and the ball was knocked on, I believe. The fans here think it was a try, but it looks like the ball was knocked on.
So still plenty of time for British Columbia to organize the comeback, but they're going to have to pinch some ball from Ontario in key moments. Looked like they had the try, but no luck, and they are staying in Ontario's end, and they've counter-rucked and stolen that now.
Taken forward, up into contact, Blumberg. Miller spinning it out.
Well, nice keep.
Dutois going himself. And we have a penalty.
I don't know, you don't take the points.
Quick tap. Miller giving it to the forwards, just 1 or 2 meters out.
Gosh, I don't know, Brian. I don't know if you don't take the points in that situation, make it 22-19, and, you know, still have time to score the try. I suppose they're just thinking, we've got to get that go-ahead try, but, yeah, 2 penalty ties it up. Oh, and a try given, so all a moot point.
So we don't have the referees, Mike, hooked up today, unfortunately, but so the try awarded to BC. So that changes things around now. 21 The score now for BC with the conversion coming.
So still trying to identify who scored that BC try. This is one of the biggest kicks Detroit's had this week. You'll really hear it if he gets it across.
Has the distance, but missed well left. So the score now standing 22-21. Ontario with a 1-point lead over BC. Still lots of rugby to be played, nearing the 10-minute mark of the second half. Andrew Coe with the restart. High ball coming just nearing the touchline. Knocked back, great athleticism there by the close winger. That's Tyler Hergott. Just
diving over the top. Fair ball. No, it's bridging, they're saying.
So we have a penalty awarded to Ontario. Difficult kick, but makeable if Andrew Coe thinks he can slot it or if he just decides to go into touch. Deciding to gain some field territory and hit it down the field.
Backing the fact that they've already scored some tries and they think they can add another one because you know, they don't want to leave the gap so narrow that penalty kicks could win it for BC. They'd like to score another 7 points here and really put it out of reach.
Line out, won by Ontario, trying to set the maul.
Kelly Martinez mugged out of that maul there.
Still going, great maul here from Ontario. Looks like they're trying to get as close as possible. Now spun out by Shirtliff. A few meters out now. Big goal line stand here for BC, trying to hold it up. Have to be close now. Penalty awarded to Ontario.
Well, they take a scrum here. They just might. It's a great part of the field to do it. Yes, they will. Big call by Ontario. We have a, is that a substitute? No, that's a referee over there. Sorry, I was getting mixed up. I thought there was still maybe someone in the bin. Got some new shorts coming on. Someone's had a clothing malfunction. They'll circle up so he can have a moment of privacy.
I want to remind everyone.
Meanwhile, our camera girl, Jillian's just zooming in on that. I don't understand. Sorry. Want to remind everyone what?
Oh, just about the Rugby World Cup qualifiers happening next Saturday in Charleston, South Carolina. Canada's senior men's team taking on USA, looking to book their ticket to the Rugby World Cup in 2015. Following that game on this upcoming Saturday will be on the 24th in Toronto at BMO Field. You can get your tickets at events.rugbycanada.ca. Looking to pack the house with a full red crowd. Exciting as we watch our men take on USA with a number of the big boys back. Jamie Cudmore, DTH Vondemervre, Phil McKenzie, Jeff Hassler, and all the other great players that we have on our national team.
That's going to be a pretty potent side back together for the first time since the World Cup. When you think of the try scoring that Vandermerve and McKenzie in particular did, we haven't seen McKenzie in the Canadian lineup for a while, and Vandermerve with injury.
Taking it is Lucas Rumball from number 8. About 2-3 meters out. BC with some frantic defense here. Ontario still holding on to that 1-point lead on advantage to Ontario right now.
LaBreche calling for time off, and it's usually an indication she wants to talk about something that involves paperwork. Is it a BC yellow card situation? Repeated infringements possibly. Just warnings for now. Callie Martinez being brought over, and as a flanker, they tend to be in places where other people fear to tread. Did you ever try and mix it up in the forwards there, Brian, or are you always out getting a tan in the backs?
No chance. I don't think I ever played one second of rugby in the forwards. Danced around the back line playing all the positions, but never needed. My services were never required in the forwards.
You're hoping one day they'll put me in at flanker.
No thanks. Picked up by Rumball, rumbling towards the line. Diving over, another try by Ontario. Still trying to get an idea who that was. That was the number 6, John Shaw, diving over the line. So Ontario pulling ahead here with about halfway through this second half.
Boy, that'll break the BC spirit a little bit as they were organizing the comeback, missing that important conversion. 1 point adrift now. They are 6 points down, and a very kickable conversion to come will make it 8 points and a 2-score lead with only about 15 minutes remaining in this game.
All the fans here breathing a bit of sigh of relief here as the sun poking its head out behind the clouds and warming everyone up a bit. Had a good shower this morning for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, definitely things perking up weather-wise. Oh, and nearly another charge down. That's 2 we've seen now, but Coe gets this kick away. And what a job by the scrum half from British Columbia. He's Spencer Miller. He's just so quick off the line. And like I say, you don't have to get a hand on it to just get in the guy's eye line, and all of a sudden he stops thinking about that kick. But 29-21 the score now. Well, that's a good restart for BC. They've done well, got that ball back.
BC now under a bit of pressure, down 29-21. Giuseppe Dutoit handing it out. Big hit there by one of the forwards.
He's a fly half, but he is not scared to get into contact there.
Dutoit running around. Getting on that far touch line. Taking it up now. It's Martinez. Just inside the 40.
Ooh, big drive in on that ruck. Cleared things out.
Now, taking it up is Blumberg.
Oh, he's bent backwards awkwardly.
BC just going right up the gut here.
Spilled ball in contact.
And that ball is knocked on, so Ontario will have a scrum. BC is just their own worst enemy here.
So in this situation, I think you'll look and see fly half for Ontario here, Michael Duras, to just get it right down the park. It'll almost be like a punt situation in football. They want to just get the ball down the other end and keep BC pinned down in their own end.
In case you missed it yesterday, was the opening of the Canadian Rugby Championships. BC Bears returned to the 4-team season, and they were bested last night. I believe it was 29-21 by the Prairie Wolfpack. Great crowd here at the Gerald McGavin UBC Rugby Park, or Rugby Pavilion, pardon me, and Ontario running some pace on the far left side. Taken into contact now. Time is on Ontario's side as it's a 2-score game right now.
You can tell Ontario's just calm in their approach, whereas BC's a little frantic as they know the clock's working against them. The stolen ball, but not before the knock-on.
Still lots of time left on the clock. I'd say about 12 minutes or so. Popped off the back now. Very taken hard into contact. That ball could have been knocked on, but play on called now. Fighting for possession. Advantage to BC. Chipped up over the top. High kick coming from BC player, but the advantage is brought back. Referee coach of BC, Jeff Williams of James Bay Athletic Association, yelling to his players, keep the ball in hand. Scrum now, BC ball just inside the 50. And a tap awarded to BC. Getting a bit of pace now. Harjan Gill, that ball is passed a little too high, too hot to handle. So Dutois looking to hit touch, getting some distance. So we will have a line out now. BC ball just north of the 22 line.
Martinez, the flanker, throwing in.
So as we stop and reset the line out, so we've got about 8 minutes or so roughly. That ball is knocked back by Ontario. They're deep inside their territory now, maintaining possession. Kicked, ooh, that went off the outside of the boot. That was did not get as much distance as they would have liked. So we have a line out now. Or wait, the referee's blowing it back. She stopped her whistle. Stop the clock.
Let's see what's going to happen here. Gill, the captain, being told to maybe talk to his team. Roll away maybe at the tackle.
It is a 2-score game here, so there's less than 10 minutes remaining on the clock. Score 29 for Ontario, 21 for BC. Martinez throwing it in the lineout. knocked back, popped.
You have to think if Ontario gives away a penalty now that BC will take the kick at goal because they need the points. Oh, big gap.
Running up hard now is Blumberg. BC about 10 meters out, 8 meters out. Dutois catches that one like a shortstop and just gets wrapped up in contact. Running it hard is Leitner. He has a try in this game. I think he scored at the last play of the half. Running hard now is Bradley. He looks to, they're starting a maul. Will it get down though?
Held up or will, yeah, Ontario saying they did the job, and so it'll be a scrum to BC. So still pressure time for Ontario here. They want to keep this BC team out so that they're not dealing with frantic final few minutes in this game. So Dustin Hopkins tapping me on the shoulder, let me know the decision's been made and we can book our travel for Calgary this time next year for the National Festival being held there. So that'll be tremendous. We were just out in Calgary a couple of years ago for the festival in Alberta Rugby Park.
Yeah, a great venue.
Calgary
Rugby Park. I was there. We were there at the 2010 version, and it was a great venue. Lots of fields, big clubhouse overlooking the main pitch. Should be another great event.
So this large partisan crowd urging British Columbia on for a big try here. And that's Scrum just going static. They're having problems setting it down. I think that's just two teams are just desperate to get the advantage and no one's giving an inch.
So BC needs to play with a bit of urgency here as there's not much time left on the clock. I'd say if I was to guess, probably in the 6-7 minutes range.
That scrum not very low. The BC front row getting popped up a little bit there.
And they lost it. So Ontario winning that scrum. That's a huge play in this game.
Now can kick get away clean. That's not going to find touch. The counter attack will be on for British Columbia. Oh, don't knock it on though.
Running it up now is Leitner. This kid's got some great speed. He's already scored one try. What a great play there by the BC winger. Spinning it out. Some sloppy passing here from this team. Blomberg, he gets stopped in his tracks.
Oh boy, the Ontario forwards just standing up these big BC boys. Now a penalty. Well, it looks like they're going to take the quick, but should they? And now maybe another 10. Because why is Ontario wrestling that ball away? They should be at 10 closer, and then that would give them a shot at goal. And I think really they got hard done by on that one. Usually when you're interfering with the ball and you're trying to take a quick penalty, that should be another 10. Instead, now they're kicking for the corner. And
good kick there by Dutois. So not much time on the clock. So we will have a line out about 10 or 12 meters away from the Ontario goal line. Score still stands 29-21.
A new player coming into the lineup for BC. I thought the winger was coming out, but be a new inside center. No, number 12 was there. It's coming off from a yellow card.
Going to the back on the lineout. Taken up into contact by Retief. BC needs a score here. Miller to Leitner.
Well, it seems like Leitner's putting this game on his back. He wants to win it.
And that ball knocked on by the scrum half. Miller, Spencer Miller. So BC is just their own enemies here.
Yeah, I mean, they're working so fast and so hard to get that ball that they're just not being precise, and they maybe need to just calm down that little bit and depend on themselves having enough time to get this done. Boy, thinking back to that scrum that Ontario stole the ball at the 5-meter line on the put in for BC. That was a huge scrum when you think about it.
Getting close to the end of this game. Couple minutes left on the clock.
Oh,
Out the
loose
back
ball.
of the scrum. Picked up by one of the Ontario players. Nearing their 22. Good line break there by one of the players, one of the forwards. Ontario just running through the phases here, killing some very valuable time. We have a knock on, I believe. And there you
that's
have
full
it.
time.
That is
Wow.
full time.
Thought there was more time than that left.
So Ontario, your U18 national champions over BC, 29-21 here at the University of British Columbia. So the boys in red and white taking the victory. Some big hugs and some big congratulations being shown to the teammates on that far side. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a minute with the trophy and medal celebrations here at UBC. Stay tuned.
Quick programming note, folks. We're going to be killing the stream to this feed to start the feed for the final game coming up. So refresh your browser window in about 2.5, 3 minutes. You'll have a new browser, new media player from YouTube to start up again. Sorry about this, but this is the way we do it for our archiving. A new browser coming up in just a couple of minutes. You'll see the trophy presentation then.